Thank you for listening to the Die Hard Den podcast presented by Detroit Lions on the Prowl on the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network. Some said we would go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here. Brad is making himself at home in Allen Park. Coming up on this edition of the Die Hard Den podcast presented by Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Seany J and I discuss all the moves that new general manager Brad Holmes has been making. Then we take a look at the undrafted free agents for the Detroit Lions. And we have an extra special long 2 points conversing. All this and more coming up right now on the Die Hard Den podcast presented by Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Watch out. Here comes that roar. What up, dude? This is Curt Steele, and welcome to the Die Hard Den podcast. And as always, I'm with my man, Seany J.
What up, good people? Good to be back.
Hey, man, it is great to be back. Man, we just talked over the weekend about the draft, but we didn't talk about the undrafted free agents because really they weren't done signing all of them. So, we saved that for today's show. But what we got to do first. It is time to do what? Tell me something good. Now, first up, we have the Lions help bridge the digital divide locally. Now, the Lions donated through the Detroit Lions charity $50,000, 50 stacks to the Connected Futures program to provide tablets and internet to Detroit Public Schools Community District students as a direct result, the Connected Future campaign, each of the 50,000 students in that program received a educationally appropriate level device, as well as internet and technical support for the entire school year. That's one thing that's big, especially in communities of color where you don't have internet access. Kids need that to learn nowadays. You're just going to be behind the power curve if you don't have a digital device to learn on, and plus with internet access. So big ups to the Lions for doing that for the Detroit community.
Yes, I like that. I like that story. That is something good. The Lions are helping out the community. You can say what you want with the Lions.
Yeah.
About how bad they are, but they're really helping the community.
All right, my man, Seany J, what you got? Tell me something good, brother.
Well, speaking of the Lions, they just, really solidified their offensive line. First, they drafted the best lineman in the draft, so they so now today they gave the best center in the NFL, Mr. Frank Ragnow, a 4-year, $54 million extension, making him the highest paid center in the game.
Yeah,
and they really solidified that line. With between Sue and Frank and of course Decker and the $50 million man, Big V and of course Jonah. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for the big things for the offensive line. The Lions could have one of the better offensive lines, if not the best offensive line in football this fall.
Definitely. I really think so, my man. I think they should have a really, really good offensive line, my man. And for the last, this last thing we're going to talk about something good right now is the Lions have released their 2021 offseason program dates. Let's take a look at what's going to happen. The Lions rookie camp is going to start here in about a week time, May 14th to May 16th. Then we have our OTAs, May 25th to May 27th, and June 2nd to June 4th, and then June 14th to June 17th. Now, in between those mini camps in June, the OTAs in June, you're going to have the mandatory mini camp, which is going to go from the 8th through the 10th. The league has told teams that they can go back to their season COVID protocol routines. So that will get the players in the building and get them working towards getting right for the season. It feels good for the teams to have a sort of kind of normal OTAs. How you think about that, my man?
I love it. Last year during the COVID season, it was very unusual. They didn't have the OTAs. You really couldn't work out. You couldn't get the guys strong, work them out the strength conditioning program. That's partially, I think, the reason Lions had so many injuries last year. Now, like I said, the important thing, the most important coach on the Lions staff is not Dan Campbell,
Mm-hmm.
but the strength and conditioning coach. Getting the team ready, making them strong, making them healthy, and try to keep them through get the long 17-game season this year. So, yeah, the strength and conditioning coach just supports any coach on the Lions staff.
Right.
And how we follow their program very closely this year.
Right. And plus we have the new sports science person coming into this team as well to help with those injuries. Now, that was tell me something good. It's always to start off good to start the show off at a positive note. But let's go to on the ball. Now, on the ball, first things first, you know what we got to do. We got to start off with the biggest breaking news besides Frank, that the Big Bang Frank getting his money. Kerryon Johnson, Kerryon Wayward Son Johnson has been released by the Lions. He was waived today. So what do you think about Kerryon Johnson? You know, the Lions kind of just say, hey, man, you know, thank you for coming out. God bless you. Good night.
It's a business. I saw it coming. I made a post about it. We saw it in my group. I said Kerryon's vulnerable. I mean, when these rookies outplay him, he's gone. And they didn't wait till camp to get him early. Give him a chance to pick up another team if he can. Kerryon, he never really got started in Detroit. Big things were expected from him. He was supposed to be the man by now, but he had a couple of injuries to his knees that slowed him up. As I said, great explosiveness. They drafted DeAndre Swift last year. They drafted a running back in the 7th round, but who they still think is pretty good. And they signed a very intriguing rookie free agent. We'll talk about soon. I think he has a chance to make the team if he can beat out the 7th round pick. I mean, or at least make the practice squad, or they might keep both. They're very impressive. Yeah. I think his eyes just increase.
Yeah, I mean, Kerryon Johnson, I would say he was the guy. He had a diminished role. The injuries just kind of hurt his career in Detroit. He just was, you know, he was never right. You know, after his rookie season, that major knee injury. You know, he had injuries in college, but you know, I can't say anything bad about him. He played hard. You know, even when he had his reduced role, you know, became one of the best blocking running backs, or you know, actually the best blocking running back in the National Football League. So, but good luck to Kerryon Johnson. You know, him and his girlfriend are expecting a baby girl. So, you know, good luck to them. I hope he catches on somewhere. Maybe it's, you know, Seattle or somewhere like that. I don't know. He wants to go out there and play with Nito or something like that. But I mean, we'll see. But, you know, good luck to him. Now let's get into what we came to talk about today, because we didn't talk about it over the weekend. The Lions undrafted free agents. Excuse me. So let's get into it, Shawnee J. All right, first up, we're going to look at a few guys, and then we're going to talk about them. We got wide receiver Jonathan Adams out of Arkansas State. And then we have running back Raheem Boyd out of Arkansas. Now, then we have a tight end, Jake Hausman out of Ohio State. And then we have a guy that I know Shawnee J is just going to light up about, because, you know, he fits his profile. Center Drake Jackson, you know what I'm saying, out of Kentucky. Tommy Kramer, big tight end out of Notre Dame. And then we have wide receiver Javon McKinley out of Notre Dame. So what do you think about this first group name that really jumps off the board for you, Shawnee J?
I'm going to say Raheem Boyd. I alluded to him on last podcast. The refrigerator rookie out of Arkansas. He was on Last Chance U. He had a pretty good career down in Arkansas. He was a highly recruited player coming out of college. Coming out of high school, excuse me. He originally started off at a different school. Gosh, I'm sorry, slips of mind, people. Sorry.
Oh, Texas A&M.
Thank you.
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. Then he went to the community college for a year, Last Chance U, and then he played 3 years at Arkansas. But he really shined. He showed he can do his talent, and he's an intriguing prospect. He's one of the camp darlings. I'm sure I'm pulling for it. Like I said, with the release of Kerryon Johnson, he has a great opportunity to make the team. You battle out with what's his name, Jamar Jackson?
Yeah, Jefferson. Jamar Jefferson. Yeah,
Right.
Jefferson.
If he battle him,
Yeah.
I mean, if he can outbeat him, he might be. If he can ball like I think he can, Lions can Steele. And of course, like I said, they said it not now. Other people said it first. I said it. The new bowl Bishwasso, Drake Jackson. I can't see this guy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the new bowl. Yeah, bring back the old original bowl too while you're at it. So.
No, Bo can stay where he is. I'm sorry, dog. Hey, I love you, bro. We family on this show, man. But boy, you was killing me with that guy. Hey, Bo Bishwasso, there was a reason he went undrafted, and there's a reason why he's not in the league right now. Now. I did hear that from 97 on the ticket. They compared Drake to the new Bo Bishwasso, where this guy was he was all conference player, was great in college, but something kept teams from drafting him in the draft. So we got to look at it. I think we just kicked the tires. It's interesting for me because of the fact that the Lions don't have a backup center right now. So, I mean, you bring him in, you kick the tires on him. I never want my man, I don't want Big Bang Frank to get hurt, but you got to have a backup plan. And that's why they brought him in, to be a backup plan for Frank Ragnow.
Right. So he has a good chance to make the team. If he's really that good in the SEC, I understand why he wasn't drafted. He was, SEC. And I still can't, go back to bowl for a minute. Best guy in the country, all Big Ten, started all big games in his career. The best guy in the country wasn't drafted. I still can't get over that.
And was trash in the league. All right, so let's take a look at the next group of offensive guys. Now, this is the guy who really interests me. Big dude, 5'11", 220 pounds. Dedrick Mills, running back from Nebraska. Now, that's the guy we don't have on our roster right now. We don't have a big punishing goal line back, and that's what Dedrick Mills brings to the Lions. Wide receiver Sage Surratt. Now, he plays down here in the area where I live in at Wake Forest. Big body guy, great catches, but, he makes some contested catches. He may have some issue with his hands. So, I mean, maybe he gets with Randall L. and he coaches him up, and he has a dark horse to make the team. We need receivers right now on the Lions. And we have tight end Brock Wright. Now, this is a big dude, like 6'4", 255 pounds. I mean, the guy just a house. He was primarily a blocking tight end at Notre Dame. So of those last three offensive rookies for the undrafted free agents, what do you think about those last three guys?
I really don't know much about any of those guys. I didn't see them play really. I read some things about them, like you said, the guy from Notre Dame, the tight end. He's a big guy, good size. He was a good blocker, mainly a blocker. They didn't throw the ball too much in Notre Dame. Sage Surratt, I never heard of him because I think he sat out the 2020 season.
Yeah, he did.
So I didn't get to see I didn't see any Wake Forest games. So
their biggest bright spot was their kicker last year. I mean, she has a great story. First woman to play in a Division I football game, but ACC football outside of Clemson isn't that great anyway. So I mean, that's just not. I mean, it's like watching paint dry. Except for North Carolina, when they play teams that are marginal, they were lighting guys up. So especially both those running backs that got drafted. So, of those guys, like I said, Dedrick Mills is the most interesting to me. Big guy out of Nebraska, can pound that rock, and I want him down in that goal line area. Even though Mr. Swift, DeAndre, has shown he can be a threat down there at the goal line. He can put some people on his back. But, I like guys down there that, they're punching in, down there at the goal line.
I think Rakeem Hicks can do the same thing.
Yeah. So, but those guys, those are our undrafted free agent rookies on the offensive side of the ball. Now let us switch to defend the den. All right, Shawnee J, here we go. The defensive undrafted free agents coming into the 2021 season. We got safety D'Angelo Amos out of Virginia. We got linebacker Javante Beckett out of Marshall. we have two cornerbacks to really round out the rest of this undrafted free agent class. We got cornerback Jerry Jacobs out of Arkansas and cornerback AJ Parker out of Kansas State. So with these guys, now I'll tell you this, Shawnee J, definitely you're looking at some guys where you have Amos is a nasty, angry tackler. We need some safety help, a lot on this roster. We signed some guys, but, are they really proven talents at the safety position? Nah, I'm not thinking so. Dean Marlowe is probably one that interests me the most, but Will Harris, he just hasn't impressed me since he's been on the Lions. I think he was one of those guys. He was drafted by one of the guys that coached him in college out there, Pasquale. I wasn't impressed with the Will Harris experiment. It's still going on, but we'll see how he works under new defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, and I would say one of the best secondary coaches in the league with Aubrey Pleasant. So Tavante Beckett, undersized linebacker. He only runs about 218 pounds. Jacobs was hurt at Arkansas, and Parker's just a little light. You know what I'm saying? He's a smaller defensive back. I think he's like 5'9", something like that, around there. I mean, these guys, these are some of those guys that have kind of went undrafted for a reason. If you know what I'm saying, like you can see you can see the writing. Like, okay, these guys went undrafted for a reason, but not saying that they're not good, but maybe they can catch on practice squad. I think they're just fillers out for our 90-man roster for camp.
Right. I really don't see these guys listed really, really ball out in camp and preseason making the team. I don't think these guys really have a chance.
Right. I mean, they may put some stuff on tape. They may have a shot at making a practice squad in Detroit or somewhere else. They have a chance to put some stuff on tape. But, you're looking at these guys, they're not really, head turners. Angelo Amos is, he's a decent safety. I would say that with him. But outside of those guys and on the defensive side of the ball, I really don't see any of these guys really making a roster, unless they, stand out on special teams or something like that. I just don't see it. But, those are undrafted free agents on the defensive side of the ball. So thank you for tuning in to the Die Hard Den podcast presented by Detroit Lions on the Prowl and the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network. If you're watching on YouTube, hey, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, become part of the Die Hard Den because you're always welcome with us, baby. And if you definitely are watching on Facebook, hey, click the like button, click the share button. Shawnee J, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our Facebook page. My man Shawnee J, he does his thing on Facebook. He keeps you updated on the latest Lions news and what's going on with the team. So now let's move. When we come back for the break, we're going to go into our 2 points conversing. So we'll be right back after the break with some more breaking Detroit Lions news. All right, we're back from the break. Shawnee J, let's get into this next segment because it's long. We got a lot of stuff to talk about on this segment. It is 2 points conversing. So first up, we have my man who is doing his thing. Lions GM Brad Holmes looked to have sniped a player from the Eagles. Have you saw this? Where the Eagles wanted to draft Aleem McNeil in that third round, but when they traded down and the Lions snapped them up, man, it was some pandemonium going on in that locker room for the Eagles. It was crazy. I mean, the dude went to give him a fist bump, and he was like, he fist bumped him a little awkward. He's like, nah, man, because he really wanted Aleem McNeil. And but you usually don't see that happening with the Lions. The Lions usually don't snag somebody that somebody else wants. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially in the Bob Quinn era, we took anybody we took everybody else didn't want. I mean, so it seemed like it. I mean, with some of those picks like Lions survive. I mean, I don't know. What do you think about Brad Holmes making the Eagles a little bit upset with that draft choice?
Well, Brad Holmes, like I said, you're making boss moves.
Mm-hmm.
She came to the Lions. I said it earlier this year. The Lions put together an all-star front office and an all-star coaching staff. But now let's see, it puts together a few all-stars, an all-star roster. I mean, things are definitely changing at Ford Field and Allen Park, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
I expect big things from the Lions. Start with the offensive line. Let's offensive line in football. You heard it here first.
all right, and then let's take a look. Now, speaking of a good job, the Detroit Lions rebuild is off to a good start, and the national media says that the Lions have a consensus top 10 draft class. Man, that's something you haven't heard in a long time. The Lions being mixed in the top 10 of something on a list for the national media because they usually always dog in Detroit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, Josh Hill. Now, I wanted some big things from this guy. He was the biting kneecaps guy coming up from New Orleans. He worked with Dan Campbell down there. He was his tight end coach. Informed the team he was retiring from the game. I just think that this was a family issue. It wasn't a role issue. He said that, Dan Campbell, he gave him a role. He knew his role, but he played at one team his whole career. And I just think he found it a little bit too much of a stretch to uproot his family. He's got kids, it's in school. And I think that, once he found it too hard to move his family, wife and kids were settled down there in New Orleans and he just hung it up.
I think that was a slight mistake. He didn't have to bring the whole family up here. He could let them in New Orleans while he played up here, while Daddy worked. I know it's kind of hard to be from your wife and kids. And if you want to make money, you got to make money. So I think it's a slight mistake. Like I said, I knew it was all about the family because, like I said, he didn't have to uproot and bring his family up here, but he didn't have to. He could let them down there while he played ball in Detroit. And you can call them, do FaceTime with them. Happens people do all the time.
Well, it's easier said than done sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Being a military guy, having to leave my family time and time again, that kind of sucks, man. A lot of times. So I don't blame him. You know what I'm saying? If I was in the position where I could have stayed with my family longer, you know what I'm saying, I definitely would have did that. But but the Lions didn't panic because guess what we did? Let's go to the next slide. It is the Lions former Lions tight end Darren Fells re-signs with Detroit. I didn't know why we got rid of him in the first place. I don't know why we didn't let him walk. He was a great tight end here in 2017, but over the last 2 seasons, the guy has been balling. 11 touchdowns over the last 2 years down there in Houston. So I'm glad to have him back in the fold in Ford Field and Allen Park.
I am too. And the Lions want to keep him, but Cleveland offered him more money. That's why he stayed out. The Lions didn't let him walk. They want to keep him.
Yeah, could have upped that little money a little bit, in purse spring. Dan Quinn, not Dan Quinn, Bob Quinn spent money on guys that I don't know how he was spending money on the wrong guys, giving people big contracts and the people that needed to get re-signed to good deals were letting them walk out the door, in my opinion, a lot of times. But, I digress. Now, the NFL's compensatory pick formula for free agent signings changed this past Monday, where now teams can sign free agents without losing compensatory picks for the rest of this time, for the rest of the season. So, you don't have to worry about, so say if a big name free agent came in, we wouldn't have to worry about losing a compensatory pick that we got for maybe Kenny Galladay or Marvin Jones or Jamal Agnew. We would keep that compensatory pick going into next year's draft. And I want to get your opinion on this one because I just thought it was the most ludicrous thing I've heard all week. An NFL analyst ranks Justin Fields ahead of Jared Goff. Now, I wanted to hear your take on this one because it just sounds stupid to me.
Well, first off, this analyst must not be familiar with Ohio State quarterbacks' history or the currents. And secondly, how can you, say a rookie who hasn't play this, whoever he is, who has to play his first NFL game is better. And of the former top pick who's already playing the Super Bowl, was a two-time Pro Bowler.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, Jared Goff has issues in L.A. It's getting off to a fresh start. And to say that a rookie who's under a quarterback coach with Ohio State Buckeyes is better is stupid, ludicrous.
Yeah.
Whoever says you're fired.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, how do you rank a rookie ahead of a guy who's been to the Super Bowl, but who's had multiple playoff appearances and been in the Pro Bowl? I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I know that, he may not be the most popular quarterback. He may not be the most gifted as far as maybe arm talent, but Jared Goff is a good, solid quarterback, and to put a rookie ahead of him is just downright, I think it's just crazy, bananas. Now, the last thing I want to talk about for me for 2 points conversing, because I know we got to get to Shiny J because he always got some interesting things to talk about. The Lions signed a couple of free agents. They brought in a guy, Scott Daly, former XFLer, to come in and compete with the Mule, the GOAT himself, Don Muleback, as the long snapper. And then we signed a guard, Evan Heim. Now, this guy sat out. He was an undrafted free agent last season with the Dallas Cowboys, played at Minnesota State, but due to COVID, he was out of the 2020 season. So what do you think about these two guys? What do you think about the new guy coming in to compete with Don Muleback?
I think Scott Daly, I think this might be the Mules last year, and the Lions trying to think ahead. I think Mules going to beat them out and be our center.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a long snapper.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as his guard goes, he's pretty good, I heard. The new Gold 3.0, the Drake Johnson 2.0, he's 3.0. So keep both these guys and bring back the original Bowl.
Man, you and that dog go, Bo Biswazzle, man. The love affair continues with Shiny J and Bo Biswazzle. That's going to be his.
University, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They have a factory produced offensive lineman,
That's going to be your boy for life. You always going to love Bo Biswazzle, because somebody brought up the other Bo I was on Detroit Lions on the Prowl lunchtime Detroit Lions talk earlier, and Coach Mike, OMG is Lions Talk, brought up the other Bo Scarborough, and I was like, Lord Jesus, you just made Shiny J's day, because he always talking about the two Bo's, Bo Biswazzle and Bo Scarborough. I had him on the team. I was like, yeah, man. But it's all love, man. But Shiny J, what do you want to talk about? Talk to me about what you want to talk about here in 2 Points Conversing.
Two things that directly affect the Lions. Mm-hmm. One, Jeff Okudah, I just posted something in the group today, says almost 100% healthy. As you know, he wasn't very healthy last year, even though he played. He was the third overall pick. Like I said, a lot of analysts predicted him to be a third overall pick, the best selection for the Lions, and they grabbed him. But they wouldn't lose face, so they asked him to play even though he wasn't ready or able really to ball like he can,
right,
or is able to. So now he's up to sit. That'd be great. Now we can see if he can really play or not. Was he really worthy of the third overall pick or not? I'm hoping he is.
Yeah.
He went some enemy territory. Stuck guys. He's a lion now.
He's a lion now, dog. You can't. I understand what you're saying, dog. But like Taylor Decker, I don't even look at his college career. The dude is a Detroit Lion. But one of the things that I wanted to say, I read one of the things I said, Okudah said, was that just from the meetings he's had this offseason with the few he's had with Aubrey Pleasant, the new secondary coach, and Aaron Glenn, is that he's learning some things that he said, man, I'd like to have this in my tool bag in my rookie season. So they were teaching him things that he, on the pro level that he didn't learn last year. So that tells me, like, what was the Lions coaching staff doing with our defense? Our defense was just, we know it was historically bad last year, but you have a rookie coming in, you force him to play with an injury, and then you don't teach him anything. I don't understand that because you look at the former defensive coordinator, the guy Corey Unlin was a secondaries coach. That was his job before he got to the Lions. How are you not teaching your young cornerbacks how to play the game of how the game is played at the NFL level.
And Matt Patricia was supposed to be a defensive genius.
The defensive clown. I just don't get it, man. That dude killed me, man. That dude, and he was so arrogant. How can you be so arrogant? How can you lose and be arrogant? That just don't add up, man. He was just talking about stuff. He was, well, I did this in the past, man. Who cares about that? But what else did you want to talk about? Because I know it was a topic that you were chomping at the bit to talk about today on the Day's show.
Yes, this affects the Lions as well. It's talking about one of their rivals, the chief rivals in the NFC Central, or excuse me, NFC North.
You got a flashback. We ain't been in NFC Central since Tampa Bay was still our division back then.
Yeah, back in the day, when the old black and blue division, when the NFC Central.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the original four.
That was at the North. They called it the NFC North division. You know what I'm saying? We was the North division, like the hockey teams.
Yes, or the Red Grange division, or the Jim Thorpe division.
Old school, baby. But what do you want to talk? Who you want to talk about? What rivalry you want to talk about?
Aaron Rodgers turning into Kerryon Rodgers, acting very devious.
Did you call him Kerryon Rodgers?
Yeah, that's what people call him now, Kerryon Rodgers. Because the way he's acting, I don't know what his beef is. He was that case. I think there's a trouble with the new GM over there. He called him the new Jerry Krause of the.
Whoa, man!
He did.
Yeah,
Jerry Krause. He was blamed for breaking up the Bulls because he had ego. He didn't get along with Phil Jackson back in the day.
He did not.
And he treated the players. If you saw that Bulls special, the Chicago Bulls special, Last Dance.
Yeah,
a lot of players, Scottie Pippen playing, that he was underpaid for a player of his stature. He only wanted to pay Mike. He didn't have to pay Mike, but he didn't pay the other guys like Scotty and other important parts of the Bulls teams. And he had an ego clash. He was jealous of Phil Jackson, who got all the attention. He ran him out of town, and that was the start of the Bulls' downfall. And this is what Kerryon Rodgers is complaining about to the new guy that got over in Green Bay.
Yeah,
but I don't know much about what's going on, what his real beef is, or where the beef started.
Yeah, I think I know where it's coming from, bro. It was the Jordan Love thing. I mean, here's the thing, and I don't know how he couldn't see this coming because he was in the same predicament on the other side.
Brett Favre.
With Brett Favre, they brought him in to replace Brett Favre, and Brett Favre said, "I ain't done playing." So this is kind of the same thing. I mean, his feelings is hurt that they brought in his heir apparent. Now, I would say this: they could have drafted some other talent for him. Maybe it's an offensive weapon or something like that. So, but they drafted the guy to replace him in a backup running back last year. I mean, they finally drafted a wide receiver in the third round this year, but I don't think that he's really upset. I mean, he's just really like he's not coming back. Now this will be the first time in NFL history that a player who did not retire won the NFL MVP. If it happens and he gets traded to another team, because it hasn't happened. I mean, Jim Brown was the last player to be the MVP and then not play for that team the next year, and he retired. So I just don't know, man. He has a gripe. Is he handling it the right way? Probably not. He has Green Bay, according to reports. Adam Schefter is saying that the Green Bay Packers are out looking for quarterbacks for camp because he's not going to be there.
These guys say egos. Favre had an ego years ago. So now Kerryon has it.
Kerryon. We call him Kerryon Rodgers, man. I ain't heard.
Yes,
man.
But he knows he can't play forever. He said that he's going to retire soon. So he wants Green Bay to have their hold their pants down and something happened to him. Same thing we talk about here in Detroit, like Lions fans want the Lions to draft a quarterback, even though he's got Jared Goff.
Yeah.
So
wait a minute, Jared Goff's on like 27, but Aaron Rodgers is like 37. So, but he says he wants to play into his 40s. The guy was he was MVP last year, so like he doesn't have it anymore. The guy still can play. He can still ball. So he's still the boogeyman of the NFC North. But if they let him out of that if say he retires, right, and he say he's retired and they let him out of that contract, he got to pay them $30 million back, like through all the signing bonuses and workout bonuses and roster bonuses and salary will owe them. It's like $30 million. Now he's made some cheddar up there in cheese country, but that's a lot of money to be giving back somebody to not play for him.
And Kerryon Johnson will probably give $1 million back to the Lions.
Yeah, but Calvin Johnson thing was just stupid. The Lions should have just let him walk with that one. He
and Barry Sanders for that.
Yeah, they could let them walk. Hell, the Colts gave Andrew Luck $6 million when he retired as a parting gift.
Exactly.
So but that's a different situation where it's like Aaron Rodgers is telling the Packers to trade me or I'll retire. You know what I'm saying? So he wants this out. He said he's either the new GM or it's him. So sometimes you can make ultimatums and you can have the upper hand, but sometimes you don't. Don't be careful what you ask for. You know what I'm saying?
And one more thing, Tom Brady, the same thing in New England when they had Jimmy Garoppolo. So
Bob Kraft came to intervene and was like, "Nah, we ain't get rid of Tom Brady because we gonna get rid of this other kid," and they ended up trading him, Jimmy Garoppolo, out to San Francisco. So that's just Bob Kraft was a smart guy. He did that. Because I didn't see Jimmy G taking those guys to the Super Bowl like Tom Brady did those last couple times. So
and Brady still up eventually.
And then Brady went and win another one down there in Tampa. He let that contract expire, and then he said, "Okay, I'm out of here. It's time to change." And we'll see long term was it with Bill Belichick or was it Tom Brady? We'll find out. Now they got Mac Jones, the fresh young fella coming into the league. He's gonna probably sit for a year behind Cam Newton. We'll see. Was it the system or was it Tom Brady? Was it the Patriot way or was it Brady way? And when we'll see how that goes out. All right, my man. That was 2 Points Conversing this week. Good topics, man. A lot of fun this week on the Die Hard Den podcast. So, again, everyone, please thank you for tuning in to the Die Hard Den podcast presented by Detroit Lions on the Prowl on the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network. You'll see the logos, baby. So if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, comment on the video. Now, we did, before we get out of here, I would like to go on and look at our last video and let's take a look at a couple of comments, a comment that we had on our last video, Shawnee J, because, we said we was going to do that, look at some of our comments that we had. Now, we really appreciate you guys commenting on our videos, man, because, it shows us some love, and we really, really appreciate you doing that for us. So, looking at the one that we had on Sunday, let me make sure I get this up here. Published. All right. Hold on here. Give me a second, people. Bear with the brother. So, but when you comment on our videos, it really means a lot to us over here at the Die Hard Den podcast. It shows us that you showing us some love, and we really appreciate you definitely showing out for the channel. So it's all love, what we do right here. But let's look at the one we had for Sunday, the draft day. Our draft video. So we had Sky Guy says, felt pretty good about the draft. Undrafted free agent class. Little concerned about the two defensive tackles back to back, but I assume that they saw something that I didn't see. So I can't hate it. I'm not a scout after all, but love the St. Brown pick in the late as we got him. Now, yeah, I have to agree. St. Brown was a guy who was scheduled to go a lot higher than what he went. So thank you, Sky Guy, for that comment on our video for the draft. We really appreciate that right here on the Die Hard Den podcast. So, Shawnee J, what's your parting shots for today's show?
Well, I just gotta give a shout out before I want everybody to be safe, but I gotta say something about that Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I had never heard of the guy, but he's supposed to be, him and his brothers are highly touted.
Yeah.
Their fathers, Mr. Universe.
Yeah.
He was like LeVar Ball football. He had he's training 3 sons.
Yeah.
To play football. Even though he had a rally short, he wasn't as flamboyant as LeVar Ball is.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very intrigued by this St. Brown kid.
Yeah.
I want to see him play. He should be up there with Jamar Chase and the 2 Battle Boys.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we may have got our Jamar Chase in the 4th round. I really want to see him play. And ladies and gentlemen, as always, stay safe with COVID. Do what you have to do. Social distancing. Wear your mask. If it's up to you want to get a shot or not. But whatever you do to stay safe.
Yeah, definitely. I am fully vaccinated, my man. Thank you for my parting shots for today. Brad Holmes is doing his thing. So, I would say this, Brad has made a home in Allen Park. So he is doing his thing. I appreciate what he's doing. This is something different that we haven't had in Detroit in a long time. So keep making those moves, Brad. And as Shawnee J has always said, stay safe from COVID. Wash your hands, social distance, wear your mask. And I chose to get fully vaccinated. And another big shout out to my man, Big Maximilian. I have the new Die Hard Den shirt on tonight. The new logo is out there. You see it on the screen. Rebranding. And Maximilian, he really did a great job on our new logo. So thanks again. My wife says he looks like Scar. And my man Max said, no, he would kick the crap out of Scar. So, he's looking mean. He's looking regal. And he's holding it down for us right here on the Die Hard Den podcast. Shawnee J, tell the people how they can find you on social media.
My real name is Sean Jennings. You can find me on Facebook. You can send me a friend request, and I can add you Detroit Lions Truest Fan Group. I'm the head administrator there. Happy to add you, and please check out our public page of the Die Hard Den podcast. You can easily find it. It's public. Like I said, I keep you updated on Lions news, a lot of fun things, So check us out.
All right. You can find the show at Die Hard Den Pod T1 on Twitter. You can find the show at Die_Hard_Den_podcast on Instagram. And Shawnee J, he kills it over there on our Facebook page. So go over there and check out the Die Hard Den public Facebook page. You can find your man Curt Steele at CurtisSteele14 on Instagram and Twitter. That's at CurtisSteele14. Now, it is time for us to go ahead and get on out of here. But, tomorrow you can catch your man Curt Steele right over there, Free for All Friday on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. So you can check me out over there. And don't forget to check out our other sister shows like OMG is Lions Talk and Rachel Marie Sports over there on YouTube as well. Hey, thank you for tuning in to the Die Hard Den podcast. As you go about your weekend, do me one favor, baby. Whatever you do in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my man, Shawnee J, this is Curt Steele, and we are